Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm spiritual medium Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. So today is November 4th, a very auspicious day, 2021, which we'll talk about in a minute. Hi, Kim Ann. How are you doing, honey? Hi, Sandra. Hi, Lene. It's always fun for me to say hi to everybody. Hi, Terry. Oh my gosh. Hi, Julie West. I've loved your comments, Julie. Hi, Britt. Hi, Karen Bennett. How are you doing? Hi, Verna. So sweet. Hi, Dee from Chicagoland. I love to see when people where they're from. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh. Oh, lovely in the fall colors. Thank you, Tracy. Yes. And Renee, our producer, put up bunch of different fall items for fall graphics, which I love too. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Gina Marie. Happy new moon. Yes, we're going to talk about that new moon. And we have a really special guest. Hi, Gloria. Hi. She says hi to Dawn too. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cheryl from Ontario, Canada. Tina from Phoenix. Hi, from Ohio. Hi, my Linda. Oh, so sweet. Love to you too, honey. So this is really a very exciting day, actually, and we have quite some uh, astrological aspects that I do want to talk about. And then we're going to bring on the great guest. We have a great guest tonight, so this is going to be such a fun show. Like, hi, Rebecca from Central California. Oh my God. See, I could just, hi, Kat from Pensacola. I could just keep going on, and I'm going to stop because I want to talk about the Scorpio new moon. So tonight is a Scorpio new moon. Okay. Now, new moons represent the time that you would plant these seeds and, you know, think of something that you're going to do. It's a new moon. So new moons always get us ready for something. And this one, though, is very interesting because it's opposes Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of the unexpected, and it's in opposition to. And not only is the new moon in Scorpio, but the sun is in Scorpio and Mars is in Scorpio. That's an intense time. And it's again opposing Uranus, which is retrograde in Taurus, which all of that means is expect the unexpected. This is not a normal new moon by any stretch. It's really time to express yourself. It's time to explore yourself. It's time to look under the hood of yourself and say, what is it that I need to tackle now? What is it that I need to tackle? But all of these oppositions mean a struggle almost to get your word out. So just be patient with yourself, but it's the time to go under the hood actually and look at all the things you want to explore because this month, November, is all about transition. This is going to bring great change to everybody. November, December, and January. Great change with humanity, great change individually. So this is the time to start looking under the hood at things that you maybe didn't want to look at, but it's time to look at this new moon. I mean, I'd say be brave and go forth and express yourself. Okay, it's going to be a very interesting time here. And tomorrow on is November 5th, and it's a really interesting time too because Venus goes into Capricorn, and Venus will stay in Capricorn for 4 months. And that's unusual. Usually Venus is in a sign for 30 days for 1 month. This is 4 months until March of 2022. And Venus, the planet of love, in Capricorn, is going to feel like no nonsense. Like romance, not so. More like, show me the money. Practicality. It's going to be more like that. Like security becomes really important. And I said this on the last show I did with James the other day, but it's also a really intense time because it's extremely intense, actually. And if you are having an affair, chances are you'll get busted. This is one of those time periods, okay? And but if you have a healthy relationship, it's really, really good because it kind of steps in with security. It makes people feel good. So it's a real interesting time. Oh, this November, it just doesn't stop. Um, and on November 10th, so next week, Mars, planet of war, planet of intensity, oh God, square Saturn. which is the planet of, karma and the old. It's authorities. It's intense, and that can bring a lot of frustration with authority figures, actually. So watch yourself. You've got to have a lot of patience. That's November 10th. Must have a lot of patience on that day. A lot. Because it has the potential to make things worse. So you want to make sure that you just count to 10. I've always said that this month brings a lot of intensity because it's going to bring change. Change is a good thing. And on November 15th, the sun squares Jupiter, and that's also a very intense time. It also, it brings a lot of discipline to people, and some people don't like discipline, but it's going to be important there. And on the 17th, I'm just going to go through this. Mars is opposing Uranus. So again, Mars, planet of, intensity and war and all kinds of energies. It opposes Uranus, which is the planet of the unexpected. So that's another day where you have to really watch. You have to watch the 10th, the 15th, the 17th, and then it doesn't get better. And then we have a full moon and lunar eclipse on November 19th. It's a big one. So lunar eclipses in things. It's time to when things complete things. And this one is going to be, I'm going to say it's going to bring intense. It's going to be a lot of fateful things are going to happen. A lot of fated events are going to happen. This is from the 19th, on November 19th. Eclipses last about 6 months, the energy of them. I could talk for years about eclipses because they bring so much change to people's lives, but important change because we all have to continue on and grow as a soul. So they're important times to remember. And we have another eclipse on December 4th, and that's a big solar eclipse. And we'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks because there's so much that is going on in November. But I would say overall, things are going to change. Things are going to change. And thinking about transformation, because that's really what the theme is, we have the perfect guest for transformation. Let me tell you about our guest. He's a visionary. He's the founder of Image Impact Index. He's a branding and image consultant. So if you're really looking for a change in your image and a change in your branding, this is your guy here. And he's an author and a keynote speaker. He's the author of the first book he did was called Mind Your Hair. And you may remember him. He was on our show before. Mind Your Hair. And his new book is called Mind Your Impact. So I'd like to welcome to Ask Me Anything, Patrice Bisiot. Welcome, Patrice. Hi.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. And you just came back from France.
That's right, a few days ago.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. Thank you for creating some magic together.
We're going to have some magic here because I love the
Okay.
work you do. I love the work you do. And you've just come up with your new book that's on pre-sale right now, and it's called Mind Your Impact. Tell us, what is Mind? Here you go. It's a pre-order, everybody. You can reserve it now. And I know you're a visionary and you're a style interventionist. Tell me about Mind Your Impact. What does that mean?
Yeah, Mind Your Impact is really the story. I have been helping, global leaders and celebrities all throughout my career because hair was the craft I've chosen in Paris.
Yeah.
And by the age 18, when I was managing 3 salons, I understood I had something greater than me I needed to do. So that got me to the US, opening my business at 19. But I knew I had to take this craft into a different level. Understanding beauty is from within. This is not just the exterior you see, it's actually how you build it from inside, from your guts, from who you are, the core value of who you are. And by working on the red carpet and with TV and all kind of medias, always was, oh, make me look beautiful, make me look gorgeous, make me look this and that. And I'm like, hold on, but your gorgeous is not my gorgeous. Why don't we define it? And let me ask you 3 questions. What do you want to tell the world? I don't know. Who are you within you? What do you want to show? What message do you want to convey when you walk on that red carpet? What do you want to tell the world? I don't know. Okay. How about what do you want people to remember when you leave the room? What is that instant moment that you want people to react to? I don't know. Well, if you don't know, how would I know? So I cannot help you with your appearance if you can't align all the pieces of who you are in order for me to finally determine, all right, this and this and that together will exactly convey who you are to the world. And that's how it really went. And reality TV also messed up everything in the sense of what's going on here, like telling people that you can be rich in 15 seconds because you got to be there doing all kind of things and not really knowing that the work comes from inside. I don't think so. That doesn't work for me. And my mission, vision, and purpose became extremely clear when my first book came out and I started doing keynote on self-empowerment, self-development, the importance of hair, and how from the hair you can actually tell everything there is to do. In fact, I remember doing a hair reading on you.
He did.
You know, and Shirley, and that's why I started showing, yes, there is a validation to what I say. So this book is 5 years of work collecting data. It's 140 pages, but I probably wrote 700 pages because it had to be to do with science. It had to do with intuitive, because I'm an intuitive, because that's just how I work with life. But I wanted to base it on things that were very serious studies that people can go to, but more importantly, examples. Because people always, the Ferrari is one thing, but the book, one celebrity or one global leader at a time, I explained by changing one thing on their appearance, they literally went to the turning point of their life, their career, their sentimental life. I mean, that was literally the turning point from that one change.
Well, it's so interesting you said that because in your book, in chapter 1, you say through new eyes, and then you talk about the butterfly effect and how a tiny change in a tiny detail and someone's world is completely upended. I think that's so fascinating. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Precisely. We are reactive beings. And this is the thing with society where they encourage you to be who you are, but then you are who you are, and then you get judged, condemned, and pushed around for it. Now, it's really saying, well, own your authenticity, own who you are, because that little change is the subliminal signal you're sending out, because everything on you is like what you're wearing for right now. The frame of your glasses. Yeah. There's specific width, there's specific thickness, the color you pick, the hair that's always you, because that's a signature. These are the signals you're sending out to people to say who you are as a person, but the identity of you within. And that's really what the butterfly effect is. It's understanding that we all coding each other by the visual. We're visual creatures. That's how we can recognize each other, and groups and community. That's how they first connect, because when I first meet someone, I don't know how intelligent they are. I don't know.
Right.
I do. But,
that's you get a good clue.
Yes, I got plenty of clues to come. But that's what we do. We react to what we see immediately, and then it's all right, let's talk. And that's really what it is all about.
So interesting. We have a comment here, and I love this. It's from Renee Hammond, and she says, it definitely can, if you have a self-image issue, hold you back. So getting rid of insecurities that can make you feel happy and confident, instead of hiding and holding back or constantly comparing yourself to others. So let's talk about that. I mean, this can really help people with insecurities.
Yes, that's it. You need to own you before you can get out there. And this is why, like, I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs. That is a perfect example. Oh, I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to open my business. I'm going to do all those great things. All right. Now, how do you feel about yourself? Ooh, I got some work to do. Well, you got some work to do. But if you got some work to do and you're not in peace with self, tell me how you're going to get in the world and pitching clients, pitching people.
So true.
And then you can't do that. You have to own your space. And it took me all those years to own my space, to own everything that's with me that I thought initially were flaws, because maybe that's not what society creates, and think that it's really a good thing. And it became where I was in alignment with all the pieces of me. And instead of being offended when people say, ooh, Patrice, you have a big mouth, or, oh, Patrice, you're very harsh. Okay, no, my heart is good. I always used to think, but I'm a kind person. I don't hurt people. I'm not even mean, not even to the people that did horrible things to me. So it's like, I couldn't understand until I realized, oh, that's your issue. And if you don't like me, no, oopsie.
I love this. And Margaret says, "Oh my God, he's back. Hello, my friend. Congratulations on your new book."
Thank you, Margaret.
Let's talk about the 5 steps. So you have to determine authenticity, value, and point of view. You have 5 measurable categories.
Yes, and that I'm not going to give all the recipe because go on the web and we'll work on it together. But yes, it's really measured by people wanted a scale. They were like, okay, but what's the index? And it took me all that time to simplify the process because right now everything is about branding, being your brand, own your brand, build your brand, all your brand, more branding. It's so confusing and so chaotic. And then you go to social media and it's like, oh my God, that's her brand, his brand. What is branding? It's like the cloud, it's like for digital people that are not digital. It's like, what is the cloud? It's the same thing. It's this concept of, I don't know what that is. So I needed to simplify it 5 greater style to saying to people, all right, I got it finally. When I'm working with this gentleman who's helping me building all the digital, and he said, we need to make a system out of it. We need to make it so simple. We can help the world to doing it and you do it. And it finally became to, oh, okay. So he said, you know what? When you look at a photo, what are you looking at first? Okay. That was number 1. Great. Now that you do that, what is number 2? Essentially, I'm doing like a movie scene. And I love that analogy because then people start clicking, which is first, how when you start the movie, it's the wide angle. It's either a city scene, it may be a beach scene. You start getting the mood of it. You start getting like, oh, okay, I get it. Or maybe it's a historical piece. Whatever the mood is, you start getting it. But then now the director wants you to start cropping onto the importance of what he wants to tell you. And now it's like, oh, but it's daylight. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, it's inside. It's outside. And little by little, you get the detail to, is it about the person? Is it maybe a knife that's looking, it means, oh, maybe was there a murder? Yeah, that's all it is. And that's what branding is about. It's saying, well, they look at you at first like, oh, all right, yeah, got it. And then the more we speak together, if it's an interview, if it's a meeting, now I'm starting looking at your hair, makeup, and now I'm starting getting into details because that's how the brain operates. The brain operates step by step. And that's really what it is. The 5 steps that if you apply them in every time, you will become a fashionista, a branding expert, someone that will understand completely how to carry yourself in any situation.
Wow. So you really help people grow exponentially, I would think. And actually then they're able to do what they've come to do in this lifetime because often those things hold people back.
Of course,
You
people
know, they
carry,
they they
we
don't know
carry
who
all the
they
stuff.
are. So often they don't know who they are. So you help people figure out who they are, where they are in the process. And I'm assuming it's through loving kindness that you do this work.
That's it. It's about caring. It's
Yeah,
nurturing.
it's
It's
nurturing.
not. It's a nurturing process because you get to actually have the person loving themselves before, because they think when they hire me, you see that they are going to have the magic solution.
Right.
And they also think I'm going to tell them. And I say, no, actually, my process, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to tell you. So I can't even be mean to you because what I'm going to do is point until you say it yourself. And that's really where the people have their own aha moment along the way to saying, oh, wow, yes, I get it. Like, oh my God, yes, that's a great exercise. Oh my God, so simple, but yet it made me think all night. Like it's great when a client a week after is like, oh my God, you know how simple, but how profound this was? That's what I do.
So do you give people exercises to do?
Yes. So of course, on the highest level, I have a 9 weeks program, and we go through it 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours a week together on a Zoom call, and we make progress. And that progress become all right. I'm going to give you homework. That homework starts giving me even more of a pattern. And at the end of the 9 weeks, we're able to have all the pieces together and saying, all right, now we can build back. Now we can build your goal, because brand is emotion. Brand is purpose. Brand is who you are every morning when you get ready. It's that simple. People think branding is this, I don't know, like a costume, almost like a Halloween costume. I have to think and put all those pieces together. I'm not really sure if it works. Yes, you need to be intuitive about it. You need to know when you get ready in the morning, yep, here, done. I'm ready.
Wow. What do you do with people that really they have something that they want to accomplish in life, and that they're stuck because they don't know who they are. So take us through an example you might give somebody who's stuck.
Yeah, a lot of people are stuck, but they're stuck actually because it's self-sabotage. It's
Yeah,
really the step
so
where
true, so
they,
true.
they realize, oh wow, but maybe I'm not worthy of it. For instance, I gave this example the other day on a podcast, and the lady on the podcast was like, "Oh yeah, actually, wow," because you see, that could be the other way around. You put $100,000 gown on someone for the red carpet. It's like a magic moment. Somehow, maybe she's part of a TV show. We've seen a lot of those makeovers, which were a disaster because the process was done so quickly. Nothing was done with a mind. And you're pushing someone to be from that to that in 3 months without having understood anything of their lives, what they go through, where they live, the kind of lifestyle they have. And, so all that is that you would think in a grand scheme of things, you put $100,000 gown from the most, famous designer, it's going to empower this woman thinking, oh my God, I look like a princess for a day. I look like a queen for a day. But instead she'll be like, ooh, I don't deserve it. Or I don't feel so good with it. Oh my God, and what if I damage it? And that's how you realize they don't own their space. That is not because of the value that the core emotional core of you is aligned with the tag price. That's why people think, oh,
So
I don't have
true.
the money to redo an entire wardrobe. It's not about that. It's about knowing how you're putting it together. That's the importance and the core of what it is to build your brand.
So it doesn't necessarily mean to use a lot of money. It can be done on a budget.
Absolutely. This is exactly, in fact, one time I did a challenge with a friend of mine. She's a client, but we became friends in the process. But somehow, same thing, because, human beings, we're melodramatic. We love the drama. We love the extreme. She's like, oh, I don't have $10,000 to spend today on. I said, how about that? We're going to go to a department store that's very well known, and we're going to go, and $500, I'm going to put together 10 outfits for you. She's like, okay, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm telling you, not doing too good here. Okay, I'll take that challenge. Well, and that was 2 hours later. We didn't spend all day. That's how I made her realize that, oh, I always thought that if I was spending more money and it was designer clothing, I would have a better chance to look good. No, you don't look good because you don't own it. Now, the budget is right there because now we're creating you. And that's the authenticity of you. That has nothing to do with the tag price.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so true, though. People do think that. They have a misconception of that. That's really true. So if you were working with doing a transformation, do you talk about, and you talk about creating your dream life, do you ask them, like, what is their dream life? Do you go ask them what they would like?
Oh, yes, I go very deep. And one of the exercises, part of the steps, is writing your own eulogy. And I remember the first time I had the exercise done to me, like where I was in that part of that mastermind, and I got asked to write my own eulogy. And of course, for a moment, I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Why? Well, why? Because this will explain to your brain, your core, everything within you. What do you want to be remembered as? What is the vision, mission, and purpose you think you're here for on this earth? And that's why there is a big component in my program with spirituality, because it's like, if you don't own that self-esteem and if you don't just embrace that value of who you are, there is no branding. Therefore, that eulogy reminds you that maybe once upon a time, as a child or as a teenager, you wanted to conquer the world. Maybe you wanted to do some great thing. Maybe it was just as simple as be, a mother, a father, whatever your dream was, and you forgot it because you didn't get involved. Everything became so blurry. You got pushed around by society's rule, and then you forgot who you are. So that reset the clock, and that eulogy is a great. I mean,
That's
pretty
such a
much
great
everybody.
idea. Such a
Everybody.
great idea. Well, let me just answer a couple questions here. Harry, hi Harry, I miss you too. So sweet. Harry T, the famous psychic and medium from Australia, and I understand you are out of quarantine now, honey, and I'm happy to hear that. So thanks for watching, Harry. I hope to see you soon on our program too. So Terry Timmerman says, I had a very well defined big outgoing personality. And now that I'm disabled, so she's disabled, I feel
Uh-huh.
like I've lost some of that personality. So how do I regain it while dealing with a major life change? Great question.
Yes. But that's the thing. You are still you. Yes, you're,
Yeah.
the engine of you, the motor of you, that what you had once upon a time is different. But adapting to what it is as a situation doesn't change who you are. You're still the same loving person or caring or intelligence. It didn't shift any of that. So all those elements are still here. But suddenly they got shaken up by something tragic, such as that. But then from the tragedy, where is the positive? How can you maybe empower others? Maybe now how do you become a keynote speaker? I remember, and I'm so sorry I forgot his name. In fact, he passed away a couple of years ago. He was, handicapped. I'm talking missing limbs and everything. This was the most powerful, hands down, on everything from, hey, enjoy life. It's not about how many YouTube subscribers you have, how many likes you have on Instagram. It's about you. It's about loving yourself. And I thought the way he presented it for 45 minutes was so empowering to me.
Wow.
So same with you. Yes, of course, this is a challenge. And this is something that, listen, every time I see someone in a wheelchair or with a handicap, I always say, thank you to the universe. Thank you to whoever I believe in. And thank you to what I have in my life, because wow, what a gift every day I receive. But
Well,
you can do the same.
that's so true. And often when people come in with a handicap situation or a physical challenge, they come in to use their mind. Actually, it's not necessarily a karmic event. It's actually maybe it's time to use your mind. But I loved what you just said because that makes so much sense. So Joanne Wilson says it sounds like gaining confidence and self-esteem while building a brand with self-identity and awareness. It does.
Of
Feels
course,
that way.
mandatory. Mandatory. You can't build a brand without self-esteem. That doesn't even work together.
Right, right. Cat Feather says this is perfect for the new moon, which is so true because this new moon is all about transformation. So this is and the whole month is too. So this is just great that we're talking about this. CJ Testa says, "Oh my God, I want to take this. I want to do this." So everybody's, you're the new version 2.0. They're saying, this is very, very interesting. So Daryl says, my son, my granddaughter, my brother have all moved into my home. It's temporary for my brother, but permanent for my son and granddaughter. I'm feeling old and unproductive. Been independent for 25 years, having a little trouble with self now. Okay, Daryl, understood. So again, it would go back to what you're still you, right? You're still you.
Course. Daryl, you're a dad. I mean, that is the inspiration within itself. If you don't believe in yourself, that's the example you're giving your kids. And it's not doing it for others. But now you're realizing your vision, mission, and purpose. Now they're back in your home. And even though they're adults, and yes, they're going to tell you, oh, dad, you can tell me whatever you want. No, there is still a great deal of respect for the dad and the mom. And that's your role to embrace that to the fullest. So actually you should take it as a blessing. You're getting your kids back, and for a moment, along whatever the time frame is, but that's inspirational. That's what a lot of parents want. So take it, embrace it, and take it to the next level and love yourself again, because they want to see that from you, because they love you, and that's really what they want to feel.
You know, that might be the best reframe I've ever heard. That's a really great reframe. And everything is about reframe, isn't it? Everything is, you
Of
can have the
course.
most negative thought or image or anything, and it can be reframed into the most positive, which is really why we incarnate to have these moments. So let's talk about for a moment a makeover gone wrong.
Yes, a makeover gone wrong, because you see, there is a time of play and place where I had a lot of arrogance in me, because I'm great at what I do,
Yep.
but I was great and too great for my own good, because suddenly now the client say basically she became the example, very wealthy, met her in Rio, Brazil, and she's like, you know what, do whatever you want. And in fact, I met her twice, because I met her in Chicago first. But and this is the thing. I didn't get involved with the process, and yet I observed all the pieces I needed to knowing that, yeah, might not be a good choice. Now, I did say it. Hey, we need to work on that. No, 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 no. You highly recommend it. I don't care what you charge. Transform me. But again, it was like a hair makeover or makeover that they do on TV, where they're like taking someone,
Yeah.
but putting them in a bunker basically for 30 days, changing, their teeth, their hair, their body shape, everything. But does that mean that's going to make that person happy? No, society is going to clap and, oh my God, look at that. It's the swan, coming out into a new person. But does the person want that? And that's what happened with our client. Yeah, for the moment, because it was changing. And because that change made her feel fakely happy. But a week later, it settled in. And it's like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is so not me. But that's because I didn't do the process.
Interesting. So you learned along the way. I mean,
Yes.
really, the internal has got to be worked through, and traumas have got to be worked on, all kinds of things. But you can own all of that too. You can own all of that and still have your image intact and how you want it to be and how you want to present it to the world. It's interesting. It's such an interesting topic because it's a change on the inside as well as change on the outside.
Of course, it's
Amazing.
all from the inside, and then we translate it to the
Wow.
outside. But
So
the work is from within.
oh, it is. Lizette Perez says, "How can I set up a one-on-one with you?" Great
Well,
question, Lizette. You would love
yes, I
Lizette.
mean, yes, I'm going to have, actually with the book as well, I'm doing a giveaway. So one of the winners is going to have a full session. Like we're going to sit together for a couple hours and we're going to define what is your roadmap, what is your blueprint for success. And then if you want to do, and I'm going to have a slot for consultation, just go on imageimpactindex.com. And then you're going to have a space where you can actually book. We're going to have a 15 minutes consultation together, and there are different prices that are very, very affordable, where now you can actually get that entryway into understanding what is branding.
Right. Okay, great. And it says that and they can send you an email too. If
Yes. So I have talktopatrice.com, info@talktopatrice.com.
okay.
That comes directly to me. That's my email. And we can directly communicate, and you can get all the info. If you have any questions, I'm here to build a community. I'm loving, to help the community. So go for it.
Great. That's great. That's so great. Margaret Cowie says, like getting a drastic haircut when you are depressed or grieving, thinking it's going to change life for the better. My stylist will not do a drastic change until time has passed. She knows too often it is a regretful move. Wow. So true.
Yes.
We often say when somebody's in grief, not to do anything for a year. But it's interesting, drastic haircut, that would be something too. But
Of
again,
course.
it's working on the inside. So Anne Margaret says, what did Patrice do inside to change? What
You
did you
see,
do personally?
that's a great question. And of course, that's a story I carried a million times, which actually I was never able to first because it's like, ooh, I'm going to look like a loser. My turning point was actually losing it all. I built an enormous amount of success from the time I was 18. And then 2009 came around and I lost it all. But when I say I lost it all, I lost it all. So what happened is in 30 days, I literally went from owning several businesses, four to be precise, several properties. I'm about to open a nightclub. I mean, I'm rolling. And I'm like, look at me, so young and powerful. Yeah, well, somewhere out there, they were like, that arrogance, well, we need to get him a little bit in check because that is a big mess. So I was a hot mess, actually, because by doing that, it became the definition of me. My bank account, how many watches, how many cars, how many properties. And then 2009 came around. In 30 days, I had to give the keys to all the properties to my
Oh,
lawyer. The salon shut down. I had a very, very big operation. The landlord shut down the building. Okay, great. I have to file for first bankruptcy. Just that alone.
oops. Well, hold on. He's going to be
Yes.
back in just a second. Did
Yeah, we lost him. I think he will come back soon, and I will put him back on the show. Yeah.
he was very dramatic in his
Yes,
losing everything
it was.
contact.
Losing him on the show. Okay, I'll
That
keep
is
an eye on it.
Spirit has a very funny sense of humor. I have to say, that
That's
is
right.
pretty funny. Cue
That's right.
Harry T. Harry T, hop on. That's really funny. Margaret says, God broke you wide open, and I've been there too. Losing it all teaches to let you go. Oh, Margaret, that's so true. I lost everything too. it's it seems more common now for things. Um, And that's right, Kim Ann. Remember when Britney Spears shaved her head? Bless her heart. I sure do. Um, letting go is my theme right now, Kat says. Good, good, Kat. This is a great time for letting go. It's a great time for learning about yourself and accepting and loving yourself and bringing joy to yourself. So Karen says, this is so interesting. I lost 60 pounds over a year. Wow, Karen, you're my hero. That's amazing. And it transformed me physically and mentally. Would a person's identity change with such a transformation? Or are the core values the same? So once Patrice is here, we'll have him answer that. But let me just say, I would think that everything would change, actually. Probably the core values are the same, I would think. But the essence of you is never going to change. That's you. But you would have the transformation gives you a whole new lens, right, to view things, which I love looking at things through different lenses. And one of the things that I find fascinating about life on earth is that we're always given an opportunity to move the lens, to change the lens. Oh, I see it this way now. I see it that way now. It's so interesting. I think life is fascinating. Lizette says, yes, indeed it does. Losing it all humiliates you. Oh, that's the truth. That's all the truth. So interesting. And Joanne says, I'm wondering if it's the right thing to even do. I definitely don't have the self-esteem. Well, self-esteem is something that is, you know, you start feeling like you deserve it. You start feeling good about yourself, and that helps. Hi there, Patrice. We just
I'm
lost
back.
everything. You lost everything, and then now you're back. See how life works?
That is universal. That is crazy. No, seriously.
Universal.
Okay. So that to finish the answer, which is so within 30 days, wiped out of everything I had, and I had to sleep in my car.
Oh,
That was
whoa.
when you see this is the thing because to me, I always thought, oh my God, how can you lose everything? I heard those stories, those entrepreneurs that put everything and they make it big, millions of dollars, and out of the blue, in no time, they wiped out. They sleep on somebody's couch until they can come back up. And I couldn't understand it and too arrogant to see it and to stop it until it happened to me. And from happening to me, I had to regain what was me. And I never thought of it because everything was fast and faster. And here I am on the red carpet and I'm 19 years old. I'm starting working with celebrities. And now my dream of a little boy comes true. And I'm getting into the green room of the Oscars and everything is fast and faster. And now everything stops. And that's when it was the best lesson I received because it's like, no, what do you do? So for a moment, I had the darkest of ideas, which I realized that spiritually, what am I going to do? Really? Let go just of everything?
It's
My
a
life is
dark night
ruined?
of the soul you had.
Of course. Oh, for a
Yeah.
moment, I thought of the worst.
Wow.
Then I say, you know what? What is wrong with me? I mean, seriously, I have me. I'm still very young. I have my looks, hello, and that's it. And I'm like, I'm talented, I'm passionate, I love what I do. So there we go. Let's go for it. And that's when I moved to Beverly Hills. And then I helped, my actually rather my PR, which I paid a lot of money, but built my brand. And that's what it was. It was focusing on what's important. What do I love doing? And that's why after working all those years, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not feeling it anymore. I want more. And that's when I wrote my first book. And now I started feeling like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So by doing that, I started doing keynotes. Well, believe me, you can't get on stage. If you fake, people read it. If you're
Oh,
not
so
authentic,
fast. So true.
people will see it. So how am I going to get out there telling people, well, everything you say on you is reflecting who you are? Well, I better apply it to myself. And what I preach is it better be what I apply to my own life every single day. And that's how I built little by little my empowerment. And I talk about it in the book. There are pieces of biography that were very hurtful, which I never thought I could share because I had to come back to how did I even build this gift? And then I had to go back to childhood. But it was great because it was therapeutic. And it was also very rewarding to see, wow, I'm able to talk about it and not to feel ashamed, to feel
Right.
like, people are going to take me like a
But
loser.
but how great is that moment? How freeing is that moment? And how authentic is that moment? That's the
Precisely.
key. That's it right there. Is accepting, yeah, that's what happened. You had a human experience. It's nothing more, nothing less. And then you just kept going. You kept going straight ahead. with it didn't prevent you from moving on. You didn't kill yourself over it.
Exactly.
I mean, life
Exactly. And I
happens
remember,
here.
and you see, it's funny because that year, actually, when it was the 31st of December, I was with friends in LA. And we all said, what were we thankful for? Like, what was, something in the year or so, whatever we were. So when it came to my turn, I said, I don't know. Like, I had a great year. And literally, my friends are looking at me like, hold on, honey, you haven't drunk enough, right? I'm like, no, not yet. Why? What did I say? And I say, I don't know. Why? What did I say wrong? And they're like, with what happened to you? You kidding? And I'm like, what happened to me? Oh, I lost everything. And you imagine it happened in February, and now December 31st, I'm able to look at it as, but I'm building this incredible clientele. I'm back on top by, not only just making money, I'm in the heart of Beverly Hills. I'm on Rodeo Drive. I mean, how better can life be? That's something I dreamt of. And then I'm going to build it myself. And then I'm going to just construct it. But now my foundation, my mansion is going to be built on granite pillars, not on quicksand.
Right. And it's not a long time. It was 10 months. That's nothing.
Yeah. And I was proud of myself
You
because I
should have
never
been.
thought I had this thing in me that was able to go through that, because to me everything was fast and faster. The more money it cost, the better it was, until realizing, wow, I'm just me. I'm good. Because
What
look
you
at me now,
what you had was resilience. And
Yeah,
everybody needs resilience. And
we
that is a
do.
key for life is to before we incarnate, I know some of us put resilience in it in our chart here. And if you don't think you have it, then you start adopting it. And it's really through affirmations. It's positive affirmations, because Gina Marie says the change I want to make is to love myself more. What are some techniques I can use to express self-love? I have to say, Gina, first thing I want to say is positive affirmations. I love myself. I'm great. That's what you start with. So, what would you say, Patrice?
Yes, morning set up the tune of your
Yeah,
day. And that's just the thing.
right.
People think, because I understand it obviously a lot clearer than a lot of people, I got it all figured out, therefore every day is a magical day. No, I got my emotions. We're emotional beings. No, I have days where I'm off balance. Maybe something is really touching my life and it's throwing me off for a moment, because that's not what I want in my life. But then I get to realize, okay, I'm good. So mornings are very important. In fact, now in my room, I have this beautiful piece of art. It's a Buddha's head, and it's beautiful and restful, and it's wood, and it's painted silver. But it has, because not all the Buddhas are great. Like some of them, to me, the expression doesn't speak with me. But this one is restful. This one is kind and thinking. So I look at it, and that's the first thing that gets me to say thank you. Whatever comes today, I'm waking up. I'm here. I'm in a place I love. I have a great life. I travel the world. I have amazing clients. Now my second book is coming out, for instance. Like, this is all those things you do it in the morning. I used to never be able to do that. And when I lost everything, actually, I had this guru in my life that was just amazing, and not only taught me yoga and all that good stuff, but taught me the power of thinking, just staying present in the moment of peace, that shadow box you try to quiet down. And that's where the power is. I remember when he said, the way you're going to breathe is the way you're going to become successful and make millions of dollars. And I say, okay, I could smell something in that apartment, but that must be really good. I should smell that a little more often. I'm like, what? He's like, absolutely. The power of meditation is going to change everything in your life. And it did.
It,
And it
and it
does.
and it does for me, and it did for me as well. I also went
It
through
does.
that phase of losing everything. All I could do was yoga, practice sundo, and meditate, and that really is what put me back. It's the healing, and that's what it did. Cheryl Udell says, "When I lost everything, it was so messy. I say it was messy fall from grace, but the great thing about losing everything is you are only left with yourself." So true. I am not embarrassed of my fall from grace. I became stronger and wiser. I like myself more now because of it. Oh, Cheryl, that's such a great statement. Thank you for sharing that. It's so true. Such a great statement. Gosh, really great. And I want to say shout out hi to Mitzi Carruthers. She's in, I think, Zimbabwe. So I really appreciate that. Hi, Mitzi. Hope you're doing well. Dot Irvin says, What synchronicity as I create a new business? The inside is shaking apart. I have learned from this experience a pattern of not being able to do things by myself has surfaced and become well established within since childhood. Pulling the real me out and back in full center is quite a journey. Thank you for sharing yours. It gives me the confidence to keep going on my own. Oh, that's so great, Dot. I'm so glad that Patrice was able to share his story and you could really resonate with that. I think we all can resonate with it. You know, it's such a human story. I love the story. It's wonderful. Everybody's saying appreciation brings self-love for me. That's very true. And did you know that November is National Gratitude Month?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's a
Awesome.
really interesting time. For everybody because everybody can get there through this journey that not only have you been on but you can help others through their journey to identify who they are, what's important in their life, and to get their brand out, who they want to be in the world. I mean, this doesn't just help with business, this can help in personal, this can help in all areas.
It helps in all areas. That's why when people come to me and say, "Oh, I need help with my professional brand or my personal brand," I'm like, "Okay, so I have a question for you. Question. Okay, do you have two bodies? Like one is at home and one is at work?"
That's very funny.
And it's like, "No, why?" Well, how? So you leave your home, well, you walk into the office or to your business or whatever you're doing, and that's still the same person. So you're going to carry through the same person from personal, family, emotional, religious, working, professional. Everything is the same. You're still one person. The core value of you is still the same from the morning
Right.
when you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And that's what's important to knowing that there's only one you. So embrace it. There's only one life.
Right.
It's one gift.
Right. So will you help people get comfortable in their own skin, basically?
That's it. It's really understanding, hey, you are enough. And by saying it out loud one day with me,
Yeah.
you're going to realize, yeah, wow, of course, we go through a lot of steps to get to that. It's not just a magical, like, ooh, look at my aha moment. But it's about saying, yeah, you have all you need within you. Everything you do is about you. And that's it. And
So
from
true.
that moment on, now we can build your brand because you finally feel like, okay, I own my space in this universe. And now you can move forward.
Wow, so true. Beth Glomsky says, "Thank you, Patrice. Wonderful message you have. Where is a good place to start for personal change? How do you choose your personal style?" Great question.
Yeah, it's another great question, which I answer all the time because that step number one is creating a mood board. So a mood board in fashion is when you get together with a team, either it's a commercial, maybe it's going to be a billboard, whatever the case may be, it's going to be media driven. It's going to be either on TV or visually on a page of a magazine. You need to determine what is the message, what it is. Is it, first of all, is it a service? Is it a product? Now, let's determine if it goes for both genders. Now we have determined that. All right, it's only for girls. Great. But what kind of girl is she? Is she the working girl in New York City and she runs and she has no time and she wears a ponytail and she's with jeans but everything is fitted and everything is couture looking? Or maybe it's something very soft and maybe she's more of a boho mood and the light is going to be dim and orange and the wind is going to blow in her hair and she's going to have beach waves. That's what we determine first. And from that, it's going to give us the mood, the kind of model we need, the hair, the kind of hair we need, the makeup, the wardrobe. Is it lifestyle? Is it studio? Is it very set up or is it just very flowy and she walks? That's what we do. With you, same thing. What do you do? No digital, by the way, because that's not working. Pinterest is all novel in the process, but all those images, how does the brain has the time to comprehend those images? It cannot. It's just not possible. I promise you, I've studied all the scientific thing about it. Old fashioned, go to magazines, their pages, get up to 100 pages. Ooh, I like that for the hair. Ooh, I like that for the color. Love the lipstick. Now, the challenge is, because collecting a lot of images, that's easy. Now, from 100 to 50, 50 to 25. So what it does now, it starts narrowing down your vision. You start having to be more tunnel vision to knowing, all right, like if you were to really look at something very precisely in the horizon line, well, you need to know what you're saying. That's branding. What are you telling the world? So now from 25, half and half and half, you get the drift until 3. So 3, not only a great energetic number, it's a good spiritual number. It's a
It's
great
also a creative number.
Exactly. Absolutely. It is a creative number. So 3 is great. But 3 is also great because if you have 3 pictures now that are congruent with one another, where I recognize the style, I recognize the color, I recognize the mood. But now, if you have 3 pictures where she's blonde with a bob, she's super edgy in the middle, but she's really soft and brunette, or soft and maybe red hair here, that means you're all over the place. You have not understood you as quickly as you thought you would, and you got to go back to the drawing board, because those 3 pictures, that will set up everything you're going to build, and that blueprint you're going to build for yourself is going to be so solid that now you understand the direction, because branding is emotion and branding is purpose. What is your purpose?
Wow. So you really help people focus into what their purpose is, and then you launch out onto the other parts of the other components of it. Really, what is your purpose? So you help kind of narrow this in. I love this. I love this. Cheryl Udell says, my style changes with my mood. Sometimes I live in yoga wear. Other times I want to sparkle. So sparkles I wear.
That's it. Embrace it. You feel like sparkly today? Okay. And who cares to say, somebody might say, believe me, there are always those wonderful people out there to be like, what's up with you? What's going on with that? I feel girly. I feel sparkly. I feel shiny. That's it.
Tell us about, how do you work with men?
Oh man, actually it's an interesting journey, because usually men, and that's the same thing, it's genetically the nature of things, is the ego. So first of all, I have heard so many times, my marketing manager told me that I should come to you, because usually I deal with CEOs, CFOs, COOs, so like really C-suite, but on a high level. And I was like, oh, my wife, she seemed to think you would, okay. So I let them go for it and vent again. When they're done, okay, great. So not only was like a tornado in the room, I got like fear 8, because I'm like, all right, are we done? Okay, good. So now, could we drop the ego, or are we going to bring it up? Because if we bring it along a little too often, that's not going to work so well. And now they realize, like, oh, yeah, we're here to work. So are you serious about it or not? Because if you're not, it's okay. Listen, I'm good. I'm here with you, but now I got to go. And now this is what I want. I want the intention, because everything we do is intentional. What is the intention you're setting to the world? So what intention are you setting for yourself? If you just hire me to please someone else, we're not good. Now if you feel like, all right, maybe I need help. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And then we start the process.
Wow. Okay. So I love this. And I bet you transform their lives completely. And I would think help get them to the next level of where they're going to be or they need to be,
In
which is
fact, I
really what
believe
this
that,
does.
yes, and the male story, actually, you'll see one chapter I love, because the gentleman, and I'll give just enough of that cliffhanger, which got from bankruptcy to a multi-million-dollar deal with a pair of shoes.
Wow. Wow. It's in the chapters in the book. Wow. Oh my God. And so the book is called Mind Your Impact.
Style
Mind Your
interventionist, yes.
It's amazing. And it's going to be available. It's available right now
It
to
is.
pre-order
Yes.
on Amazon.
No, on Amazon, not yet. No, Amazon will be about 30 days from now. Right now, that's why it's on pre-sale only on imageimpactindex.com, because I'm doing that giveaway, and I'm looking into even probably giving it to more than one person. So I really want to build a community. I want people to understand it, because in the book at the end, there is a working book, and there's a QR code. And every time you want, you scan the QR code. It's in every chapter. It's on the back of the book. And the page that you're going to open is going to change all the time, because I want you to be engaged. I want you to understand what branding is about.
Wow. What is a QR code? I've never heard that expression.
The QR code, like when you go to a restaurant and you put your phone over. And
Yeah,
then,
well, I've only been to a couple restaurants since COVID, believe it or not. And I did that. And at first I was like, what's going on here? So you take your phone and you put it over and it shows you the menu in case. So the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same. The first time I was like, what? The menu? But that's a little plastic thingy. What do I do with it? And it's like, no, put your phone over. And then obviously I understood that that's what I wanted. I wanted something very easy. I want branding to become something of every day, because it is something you do every day without knowing. Getting ready in the morning, that's your brand right there. So instead of just doing it like like, ooh, I'm in the dark. Ooh, where am I? Instead, you're going to be very aware. You're going to be clear. You're going to really build it, and you're going to have fun building it, because this is the thing. When we don't understand something, it's like, what a chore. Now, ooh, fun. All right, collecting images, great. Let me see how well I'm doing with that. And then even if the 3 pictures are all over the place, it's okay saying, oh, all right, well, I need to go back to that. How much fun is that? It's like being a kid all over again.
Right. It's fun discovering who you are,
Of course.
actually.
Of
It's
course.
fun.
Self-discovery, yes.
Self-discovery is everything. I mean, I love this. So people are just loving this. It's about being intentional, Bridget says. Yes, intentions are important here. Definitely. Bridget Wagner says, I feel like you can create a mood board for other things in life too, such as your ambitions, career ideas, places to travel, etc. I can see how this technique would be good for narrowing down not only your outward image, but your inner visions for your life's path. Oh, I love that, Bridget. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bridget. Bridget is right on point, because, for instance, right now I'm dealing with this gentleman who's creating this enormous thing, with a chain of medical spas, but it's going to be like on the highest of luxury. And I said to him, who are you? What do you want people to feel like when they walk in, and when they leave, what do you want them to tell their friends? I don't know. It's going to be white and we're doing that. So now I'm dealing with an interior, and it's not just interior design. It's not about the design of it. It's about the subliminal signals we're going to send out to every patient that's going to walk in, to feel like, oh, I feel that way. I feel that way. Now we're going to direct their mood into a direction. That's the intention, of course.
Wow.
So everything you do, every single thing you do in your life, when you take your car in the morning, you just don't think, all right, I'll go where my car takes me. You have a GPS, or you have a point of arrival. You just do it methodically. Well, branding is the same thing. You take your car, but there is a destination.
Wow. Wow. That's so true. When I walk into a spa back in the day, before 2020, I want it to be peaceful, and I don't know, I can feel the energy immediately, just even thinking about it. So that's an interesting. So Lizette says, do you incorporate the business brand archetype, like the magician, the sage, the creator, together with the personal brand?
Yes, absolutely. Everything needs to be fused in one. As I was explaining earlier, you are only one being on this planet. So whether you choose a great career, or you're just a mom, or just a mom meaning you're at home, or you are and a mom and a wife and a career woman, yes, it's still the same, exactly the same. It takes a little more time to figure it all out, but at some point you need beautiful alignment in order to get that life that you're going to enjoy every day.
Wow. This is just fantastic. So you can reach, oh my God, Patrice at imageimpactindex.com. And your book is going to be out in 30 days.
Yeah,
you can pre-order it now.
Pre-order it now.
If anybody wants to contact you for a consultation, it's info@talktopatrice.com.
Yes.
Wow, gosh, Patrice, thank you so much for being on the show today. I so appreciate it. And I think this book is going to do great things. It's going to help a lot of people. And I know you've got a third book that you're going to be working on too after this one.
That's right. So now I'm going to take this one globally. In December next month, I'm going to go to Florence, Italy, Dubai, and the Emirates.
Wow.
I'm going to Paris. Yeah, there's some great things coming. Yes.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited for you. Oh my gosh. You'll have to come back and tell us about your journeys. Everybody's saying they love you. They love your work. Oh my God. It's so cool. I can't wait to read the book. This is going to be a lot of fun. Well, thank you, everybody. So join James and me on Monday night. We're going to be doing spirit photography. So that ought to be fun Monday night. And remember, November is transformation time. Enjoy the process. Thank you so much, Patrice, for being here.
Thank you, Kellee.
Thanks, Renee.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.